Hey guys, what's up? It's Fallen. So, got a lot of information to cover today. And I do mean a lot. So, as you all know, next month we get our Rising Rampage set. And then we get the Chaos Impact at the end of the year. So the following set after that has finally actually been announced. Ignition Assault. So, probably going to be a lot of the at Ignisters, so if you guys are wanting those, be ready for us next year. On top of that, the end of the year, for us, right after we get our Chaos Impact, our subsets that we get, you guys know those, like, Battles of Legends, those kind of backs. So, it's going to be called Mystic Fighters. Yeah, this one's actually looking pretty weird, in my opinion. We get Dragon Maids. Yeah, that's what we need, Konami. More waifus. A fighting robot theme, and also very big monsters. So potentially more kaiju support, maybe-ish, or anti-kaiju stuff? Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, with that being said, the robots are called Process Slayers. And I'm liking them. I'm liking them a lot because they're falling into one of my favorite types. CYBERSE. Alright. And I hope you guys can do a lot of math with this one. Alright. And I'm going to go through every last one of them that's been revealed so far. So, first up, we have Zunki Sigma, or Process Slayer Sigma. It's a light level 4 CYBERSE tuner effect monster. 1,000 attack, 1,500 defense. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. Pretty hard, but hey, it's good. If you control no monsters in the extra monster zone, and this card is in your hand or grave, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except CYBERSE. Also, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves. That's a restriction for this deck. That's a restriction. No, it's not. No, just no. And the second effect is, if this card you control is used for a synchro material of a process monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner. Next up, we have Nabla. They're all Process Slayers, unless the other monster's name changes, and I'll go over those. It's a dark level 4 CYBERSE tuner, 1,000 attack, 1,500 defense. So with that, I figured it would have been the opposite of the light one, 1,500 attack, 1,000 defense. But Konami's always changing it. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So they're looking like they're all a hard once per turn. You can tribute one CYBERSE monster, special summon one Process monster from your deck. Okay. He's a freebie to get a token, get a CYBERSE token. Okay, use Silent Backdoor. Boom. Not backdoor, one-time passcode, I'm sorry. Boom, there's your CYBERSE monster. Tribute him. Tribute it off. Boom. There's another Process on the monster. If this card is sent to the grave, you can target one CYBERSE you control in the extra monster zone. It can make up to 2 attacks during each battle phase this turn. So, it can attack twice. Then we have Subtra, which is a fire. Yeah. You can only activate... You can use the effect of this card's name once per turn. Okay. You can target one face-up monster on the field. For the rest of the turn, you can now special summon monsters from the extra deck except CYBERSE. Yet again, not really a restriction running with this deck, guys. Also special summon this card from your hand. If you do, the targeted monster loses 1,000 attack. So target one of your monsters, opponent's monsters, it loses 1,000 special summoning. And you can only special summon CYBERSE. That's not a restriction. Sure, you can't use the Boral Sword OTK, but hey, with this deck, you don't need it. And then we have another Fire CYBERSE, along with Subtra, Adion. It's got the same effect, but targeted gains 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. And also, that card cannot attack. Adion cannot. So, use Subtra, special summon him, drop an opponent's monster by 1,000. Use Adion's to special summon him from targeting Subtra. There's your 2 level 4s to overlay and exceed, if they have one. Alright, then we have Proslayer Multiplier. It's a Earth CYBERSE, level 4, 2,000 defense, 500 attack. Finally, some different stats. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. You can target a level 4 CYBERSE monster you control. It becomes level 8. So it's a CYBERSE Synchron. And also, its second effect, if this card is sent to the grave, you can target one CYBERSE you control, and the extra monster don't double its attack until the end of the turn. What? Wow. Now we have Division, which is a Earth 1,500 1,000 attack. You can use this card's name once per turn. You contribute a CYBERSE monster you control in the extra monster zone, special summon up to 1 level 4 CYBERSE monster from each of your hand or grave. So you can get more monsters out. Okay. This card is sent to the grave. You can target a face-up monster on the field, have its attack until the end of the turn. So, hello, what do we have here? Okay, we have a Synchro. Pyrosis Slayer. Magma. Okay, it's a level 8 fire type CYBERSE Synchro Tuner effect. 2,500 attack, 0 defense. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls to destroy them. Okay. He's going to be spell trap removal or annoyance removal. Excuse me. If this card is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can add a Process Slayer spell trap from your deck to your hand. So we're getting those too. Maybe? Now we have Final Sigma. It's another Pyrosis layer. It's a level 12 CYBERSE Synchro effect monster. 3,000 attack, 0 defense. It requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner, just like Magma. You can only use this card's third effect once per turn. First effect is you unaffected by card effects except for a Process Slayer monster. Process Slayer cards, I should say, while in the extra monster zone. Double any battle damage this card inflicts to your opponent while this card battles an opponent's monster while this card is in the extra monster zone. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card is in the owner's possession, destroyed by an opponent's card effect, add a Process card from deck to hand. Okay, and we also have a Exceed monster. Batch, Process Layer, Lapicon. It's a rank 4 Earth CYBERSE, 2,000 attack, 0 defense, 3 level 4s, and its effect is you can only use this card's first effect. You can only use this use the first effect of this card's name. If this card is Exceed summoned, you can detach up to 3 materials from this card, activate that number of effects. One, send one random card from your opponent's hand to the grave. It's one of 3. The second one is send one monster your opponent controls to the grave. It says send, doesn't target. So there's a loophole. And I'm liking that one. Send a spell or trap your opponent controls to the grave. Okay, so you can get rid of annoyance monsters, compulse, or get rid of annoying spell or trap. I'm liking this guy. The second effect is if a Rossess Slayer card you control will be destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can detach material from this card instead. But you can only use this card's first effect. Then why do you make a second effect? Makes no sense. Alright, now we have some spells. Rossess Slayer Formula. You can only activate this card's name once per turn. Target a Rossess Slayer in your graveyard. Supposed to summon it if you do against 1,000 attack. Okay. And now we have Divider Nayuta. It's an equipped spell. Only equipped to a CYBERSE type monster. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If the equipped monster battles an opponent's monster during damage calc, you can send one Rossess Slayer from your deck to the grave. The equipped monster gains that attack until the end of the turn. I'm seeing OTKs. I'm seeing a lot of OTKs with this deck. The second effect is if this card is sent from the spell trap to the grave, you can target a Rossess in your graveyard except Divider Nayuta and add it to your hand. And it's a side note, Nayuta is Japanese term for 10 to the power of 60. Wow, that's 60 zeros. That's pretty big. And we also have a couple of trap cards, it looks like. It's one is a continuous trap called Induction. You can only use the second effect once per turn. The first effect is cyber monsters you control can't 5 for an attack. That's going to be played in Playmaker's style deck, the Code Talkers. It's going to be played in Salaman Greats. It's going to be played in this. It's going to be played in Marine Cess. We get a lot of CYBERSE type stuff, and I'm happy about that. The second effect is that you control a Rossess monster. You can send this card from the. You can send this card. Face up card you control to the grave, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. It says target, but okay. And the last card, Super Factual. It's a normal trap. You can only activate the first card, activate one of this card's name per turn. I think that's a mistranslation. You can only activate one effect of this card's per turn. You can target 3 Rossess monsters, Rossess Slayers, with different names in your graveyard. Activate one of these effects. For summon them, but their effects negated. If you do immediately after this card resolves, synchro summon a Rossess Slayer synchro monster, using only those monsters. These secret materials are shoveled into the deck instead. So they finally made a Samsara for synchros. I like. The last effect is for summon them, but their effects are negated. If you do immediately after this card resolves, exceed summon a Rossess Slayer monster only using these cards. Depending on the circumstance, you're probably going to synchro summon a lot more than you would the exceed. But that's the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe if you haven't, share with a friend if you think they might enjoy the video as well. Alright, peace.